One study tip that has made me 1,000 times more productive is today we're going to be going over the no BS, no fluff, just facts of how you can become more productive. Alright guys, just a disclaimer, I am in no way a study professional or professor or anything like that. I'm just a college student and I'm sharing to you guys what worked best for me so that it can help you guys do your best in school. We've all been there. We all know the feeling when you have an exam or some type of topic for school or work or whatever endeavor you choose to go into looming over your head, but we can't simply just go and study. And even when we do sit down and actually get the motivation to try and study, it's just not effective at all. I feel like, at least for me, when that happens, I end up going down like the rabbit hole of TikTok or YouTube, or end up switching tabs and watching a show on Netflix. But today we're gonna figure out how to fix that and how to integrate these practices in your life so you not only are more productive while studying, but more productive in your life in general. The first thing we have to identify though is why you're not being productive. It seems kind of like a dumb question, right? But you need to identify the root of the cause so you can figure out how we can fix it. All right, so I've listed out a couple reasons of what might be stopping you from being productive. The first one is no motivation, right? I think we all know what that is. It's a very common one, just when you're not able to get up and actually go and do the art of studying. Next is whether you're tired or sleepy. That's just when you're not getting enough sleep to be able to study accurately and effectively. Next is you're gonna be spending too much time on the wrong thing. For example, you could be going out with friends too much and then not leaving enough time for studying. You get stressed, you don't get enough sleep, you go down that rabbit hole of just not being in a good mindset to study. And the last one is going to be distractions, whether that's from other people, electronics, whatever it may be, that's also causing you to have breaks in your studying so that it's not productive. Fortunately though, there is a way that we can turn things around and get you to become more productive. One study tip that has made me 1,000 times more productive is active recall. And what is active recall, you might ask? Instead of just simply rewriting your notes or looking over PowerPoint slides or whatever it may be, it's actually like asking yourself questions about the material that you've learned instead of just like regurgitating what you've learned. For example, if I was in a biology class and we were learning about cell organelles and the mitochondria just happened to be one of them, instead of rewriting the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, you would say, what is the function of the mitochondria? Which just makes your brain think a little bit more, take the extra step, and connect the two dots about what the actual function is instead of just rewriting it in different words. Two apps that I really like to use for active recall is either Anki or Quizlet, or even sometimes I just type my questions out on like a Google Sheets and I arrange it from the ones that I feel most confident with, that I know the answer, to the ones that I'm not very confident with. And I know you guys may seem a little skeptical. I was at first too. I'm like, how in the world is this going to make me more productive? It's just gonna be more work to write more questions out. But I'm telling you guys, like I promise you, just try this for like one exam, one topic, one test, whatever it is, and you will see a crazy difference in your retention level. Another thing that I strongly stand behind when it comes to productivity is time management. If you're not using some type of calendar, some way to organize your life, what are you doing, guys? This is like an absolute life changer when it comes to getting your things done. My personal favorite when it comes to time management is either using a physical planner, Notion, or Google Calendar. For the longest time, I had used a physical planner in school and it was perfectly fine. I had no issues with it. But then I discovered this cool app called Notion, and it simply changed the game in studying. No, this is not sponsored, but what Notion allows you to do is you can input all your tasks or to-dos in one like spreadsheet style, and you can say what course it's for, any extra notes, what type of assignment, exam, test, whatever that is. Then you can like check box it once you're finished. It really just helps me stay organized, and I can color code by course and just see in a big long list of what I actually have to get done and what's the most important to get done first. One of the things that's really helpful with Notion is I can get it on my laptop, but it's also an app that I can download on my phone so that I can keep connected whether I'm doing things for school on my laptop or just wanting to look at my assignments on my phone. It's all there all the time. And the last website I mentioned was Google Calendar. Now what Google Calendar is it's simply a calendar just in digital form where you can input all of your classes, all of your to-dos, you can time block throughout the day, just helps you stay organized. And of course, one of my favorite things is that I can make everything pretty and colors that go together nicely and pastels and everything like that. It just makes my life a little happier. One of the things I use Google Calendar most for, not only for organizing my life and laying out my classes, is for studying and time blocking. In the beginning, when I didn't really use time blocking, I kind of just studied all over the place. I was like, oh, I can study 10 minutes here, 20 minutes here, and then I would just get so distracted going on either my phone or something else, and then my studying would just be like not productive or effective at all, which is why I switched to something called time blocking. If you haven't heard of what time blocking is, it's basically setting aside like a given amount of time, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it might be in any given day for a specific task. And for this example, let's say we're studying. So on my calendar, I would put from 7 to 9, I'll go and study for something like chemistry. And of course, when it's from 7 to 9, I am studying, right? I can't go on my phone, I can't watch Netflix, I can't go hang with friends. That time is solely dedicated to studying. This has just helped me set aside like a dedicated time and place that I use to study throughout the week and get assignments done, so I'm not cramming right before the due date to get things done. And the last thing that might be keeping you from getting studying done and being productive about it is distractions. This might actually be the hardest one to overcome. At least it was for me. I felt like all the other ones that we mentioned previously were very easy to overcome. Time blocking, right? Just make an organized calendar. Active recall, just put questions down and answer them, right? All very straightforward. But to actually implement not being distracted from other things around me was pretty hard. Even though it was pretty hard, I found myself most productive when I limited the amount of distractions. And I know that's not like a crazy belief or whatever, it's pretty straightforward, but just like putting my phone on the opposite side of my room or putting it on a charger where I couldn't reach it and it wasn't in arm's length was a big deal, because whenever like my friends were texting or something, you know, I get notifications on my phone, you know, the whole screen lights up, makes a noise, everything like that, and it would just be so distracting and disrupting to my studying that once I moved it, I just completely went out of my mind. Another thing is trying to be in a quiet environment. Now I know this might not be conducive to everyone, and you might not be in a place where you can be like in a quiet environment. There might be other people, other things going on that you just can't study quietly. Now, what I recommend for this is get a pair of headphones and put some like lo-fi music, classical music, just music that doesn't really have words into it that you enjoy, and keep it on in the background while you're studying. Now, the key here is to make sure that the music does not have words in it, because then like it messes with your mind and it's just not good. But what this does is it tunes out all the other external noises, that talking, whatever else may be going on, and it helps you hone in and focus on what you're actually studying. Let me know down in the comment section which of these helped you be the most productive in your studying and which one were you a little surprised about. And if you guys want to know what a typical day at college looks like for someone in a STEM school, click on this video right over here and I'll see you in the next one.